What's going on, guys? Steve Collins here, HYROX coach, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing the 2 best exercises that are going to transfer to the sled push, and I'm going to give you a little bit of insight on how to pace the sled push so that you are stronger and you're way more efficient, so that after the sled push your legs ain't blowing up and you're out fast running. So let's get into it. So whether you are in the open race or the pro race, you're going to have to push that sled for 50 meters broken up into 4 lengths of 12.5 meters each. The sled push is predominantly and lower body exercise, of course. However, you still need a very strong core, trunk, and upper body, because that is in between your legs and the sled. So if you have a strong upper body, you're gonna be able to transfer that force from the lower body through the trunk, through the core, into the upper body, out into the sled. If you don't have a strong core and upper body, you're gonna get a lot of wasted energy and a lot of energy leak. So you have to make sure that you are doing your pull-ups, your rows, your chin-ups, and your carries, so that your upper body and core is nice and strong. Exercise number 1 is the Russian style barbell step up. All you need is a bench. Ideally, the bench needs to be knee high or above. So this is a single leg, a unilateral exercise. We step up. Anywhere between 8 to 10 reps on each leg. If you want to make that more advanced and even more transfer to the sled push, put the bar in the front rack position. This is going to have even more of a transfer to the sled push, because the load is anteriorly loaded on the front of our bodies, which is going to engage the leg even more and the core. The reason why this exercise is so effective for the sled push is because we are teaching our bodies how to produce force from one leg in these angles, very similar angles to what you have to do on a sled push. Now, if you're not strong enough to use a 20-kilo bar or heavier, simply grab a dumbbell and work from here until you can get to 20, and then add the bar on the back of the shoulders or the front of the shoulders. Exercise number 2 is the Zercher reverse lunge. All we do is, in this Zercher squat position, lunge back, alternate legs, The beauty of that exercise isn't that it's just a unilateral single leg exercise. If you're holding the bar on the front of the body, the core, my abs are on fire. Core has to work extremely hard to not be pulled over and collapsed. The upper back and the lower back have to work really, really hard as well. It's gonna train your upper body at the same time as your legs. Whew, let me get my breath back. So like I said earlier, we need leg strength, but we also need upper body static strength, okay? Isometric strength in the core, in the back, in the shoulders, in the upper body, because that is sitting between our legs and the sled, and it's going to allow us to transfer that lower body power and force through the upper body into the sled. So that's a great exercise for you guys to practice. Now, this exercise, it should be at the front beginning of your program, okay? So not down in the 4th or 5th exercise, it should be top 2. And in terms of reps and sets, do between 3 to 5 sets of 4 to 6 reps. So we want to keep the reps low to moderate and the sets moderate to high. One of the biggest problems people have when they're training the sled is that they're getting calf injuries, whether that's the gastroc, the Achilles, the soleus, or the plantar fascia of the feet. People are getting injured because they're going too heavy too fast, or they're just doing too much sled work. So here's a really cool bonus exercise that you guys can practice to strengthen and build robustness and resilience in the lower limb. And I'm talking calf, Achilles complex, and feet. So if you can do this barefoot, it's really, really effective. I'll keep my shoes on and show you guys. But we need to have a very light load on the sled. We're getting into this long-legged position, and it's all about what we're doing with the calf and ankle. We can see the back leg. I'm pushing off with the back leg every time. So you can see there, I'm really trying to calf raise the sled. First of all, as my foot touches, I'm using the quads, I'm using the glutes, I'm using the hamstring. My calf is active, and then I finish using the calf. Quads, hips, and hamstrings, calves. So slowly and controlled, keeping your torso at an angle and your core and upper back engaged. So I've done a few reps there, and my calves are on fire, okay? And that's the whole point. The sled has to be light. If you go too heavy, you're not going to be able to maximize the work that you do in the calf, okay? So a light load, focusing on going slow, controlling the hip, controlling the knee, and then making sure that you're finishing by plantar flexing and pointing the toe and driving off the floor. It's not a fast movement. It has to be done slow and controlled. And guys, whilst we're on the topic of the calf and the Achilles complex, it's important to know that one of the biggest issues when people are pushing a heavy sled is that their heel is dropping to the floor. Their calves and Achilles are strong, but they're not being as active as they should be when the sled gets heavy, okay? And this is what I mean. You can imagine just pushing the sled any position that you want, but the heel is collapsing, okay? So we're pushing and the heel is kind of sloppy and low. You can see my heels there, they're too low. It's not active enough. What we want is a strong, active ankle complex, okay? The ankle needs to be stiff. Here, if we look at the back leg, the ankle needs to be stiff. As it comes through the front, stiff. Front leg, stiff. We don't want that heel to be dropping. We're gonna be losing so much power, so much tension if we let that heel drop too much. So next up is pacing strategy. Now, I'm a proud coach. Most of my HYROX athletes have very, very good sled push times. Now, we're talking like 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes. Anything, if you're in a pro category, anything under 3 minutes is extremely fast, okay? Now, anything under 4 is also very, very good. But if you can work towards the 3-minute mark on the pro weights, you're winning, you're doing really, really well. However, I will say this, I have a client who did a HYROX pro race and he did a 1:15 time. His sled push took 3 minutes, really, really fast. He smoked the sled push, he felt great, he flushed out the lactate and had a great run. However, a couple months later, he did a 1:10 time and his sled push was 4 minutes. So it was a minute slower. Don't think that a 30-second faster time or a minute faster time is always going to transfer. And this is where, you know, it can set up a good race, yes, but it doesn't mean it's not going to guarantee you a really fast overall race time. However, if you follow the tips from this video on how to get strong and how to pace, which we're going to go into in a minute, then hopefully your sled push, you're stronger and you're pushing it way more efficiently so that you have a good race. Okay, so pacing strategy. What we need to do is manage fatigue, right? We need to manage the buildup of lactic acid in the legs, okay? Lactate in the legs, all right? So what we do not want to do is go so fast and so hard that the legs just blow up and then we spend 500 meters on the next run trying to clear it. You're gonna have a horrible race, okay? That's not what we want. What we need to do, we know that we need to push that sled for 12.5 meters, okay? We need to push it 12.5 meters 4 times to accumulate 50 meters. If you are strong enough and fit enough, on your first lap, we're gonna do it 4 laps, right? The first lap, we're gonna go all the way through, okay? First lap, get after it. Take 10 to 20 seconds, shake out your legs, get your breath. On your second lap, you're gonna push it halfway, take another break, 10 to 20 seconds, have a breath, shake out your legs, and then you're gonna push it all the way. So lap 1, we're going all the way. Lap 2, we're breaking halfway. I'm gonna come around this side, guys. So this is lap 1, this is 2, we're gonna go lap 3 up here. We're gonna go halfway again, and then you will most likely need to take another break. So if we break that up into another third or half, so if maybe third, we'll take a break there, and then we're at the end. We have 1 more lap to go, which is gonna be down here. Then we break it up into thirds. We go a third, shake it out, 10 to 20 seconds. Another third, shake it out, 10 to 20 seconds, and then you finish, then off you go. If you aren't strong enough or confident enough to push it on that first length all the way, simply break it up into half. The key, remember guys, is you do not want to blow up your legs and build too much lactic acid up, because then you're going to have a horrible next run. Now, if you are very fit, very strong, very confident, then what you can do on that last length is get after it and just go all the way through straight. If you are very good at clearing lactate on your run. If you're struggling with the running, then don't do that. But if you are a good runner and you can get back to pace and clear the fatigue, then on that last length, go for it all the way through. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you for watching. And as always, if anyone needs help with their coaching, HYROX event, or any hybrid fitness event, there's a link down below in the description. Fill out an application form and let's get working together. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.